Have you ever sat down to enjoy a fresh, healthy meal, maybe a nice salad you made yourself, filled with all the right veggies, thinking, this is exactly what my body needs, only to feel bloated, sluggish, or just off afterward? You pause and think, but I ate clean. I made good choices, so why do I feel like this? It's frustrating, isn't it? Especially when you're doing your best. Watching what you eat. Trying to stay healthy and energized as you get older. You've spent years learning what's good for your body, and now suddenly, the rules seem to be changing. But what if I told you that one simple mistake, a food combination that seems completely harmless, is what's been working against you all this time? What if that crunchy cucumber you toss into almost every salad, that refreshing snack you love on hot afternoons, is actually not the innocent vegetable you think it is? I know, it sounds surprising. Maybe even a little hard to believe. But as we age, our digestion changes. Our bodies don't process food the same way they used to. And the truth is, certain combinations, especially involving cucumbers, can lead to real problems. Things like gas, poor nutrient absorption, even spikes in blood pressure. And here's the kicker. Most people have no idea it's happening. They think they're just getting older. Slower. More tired. But really, it could be something as simple, and fixable, as what's sitting on their plate. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 3 foods you should never mix with cucumbers if you're over 60. They're everyday foods, ones you probably have in your kitchen right now. And by the end of this video, you'll not only know what to avoid, but what simple swaps you can make to feel lighter, more comfortable, and more in control of your health. And tell me, have you ever felt bloated or uncomfortable after eating what seemed like a healthy meal? Comment, I have, below. You're not alone, and your experience might help someone else feel seen too. And if this sounds like the kind of information you've been looking for, make sure to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide, where every day, we share practical, trustworthy tips for staying strong, healthy, and at peace in your golden years. Because you deserve to feel good in your body, every single day. Let's start with the first combination. One that might seem perfectly innocent on the surface, but could be doing more harm than good behind the scenes. Cucumbers and tomatoes. Now, if you're like most people, you've probably paired them together hundreds of times. In salads. In sandwiches. As a refreshing side dish on a warm afternoon. And it makes sense. They're both fresh, hydrating, packed with vitamins. What could possibly go wrong? But here's where things take a turn. Imagine this. Margaret, a 72-year-old retiree, starts her mornings with a light breakfast and a walk around her garden. She enjoys her routine. She tries to eat right. Lunch is usually a bowl of salad, lettuce, cucumbers, tomatoes, maybe a drizzle of olive oil. It feels clean. Light. Wholesome. But lately, she's been feeling a bit off. A tight, burning feeling in her chest after eating. A heaviness in her stomach. Sometimes even a little burping, which embarrasses her in front of friends. At first, she thought it was stress. Or maybe just something that happens with age. But here's what Margaret, and so many others, never realized. Cucumbers and tomatoes don't digest well together. Cucumbers are mildly alkaline and have a high water content. They digest quickly, moving through the stomach in a short amount of time. Tomatoes, on the other hand, are acidic and take longer to break down. When you mix the two, your stomach ends up with a confusing job. One food is trying to pass through quickly, the other is hanging around longer, needing more time and more acid to break down. And what happens when these two timelines clash? Fermentation. Gas. Bloating. Indigestion. It's not the salad that's the problem, it's the pairing. Now, you might be thinking, but I've been eating cucumbers and tomatoes together my whole life. And that's true for many people. But here's the important thing. As we get older, our digestive strength naturally weakens. The enzymes that used to do all the heavy lifting in your 30s and 40s, they start to slow down. Stomach acid levels drop. The body becomes more sensitive to certain food combinations. What used to feel fine might now cause discomfort without you realizing why. The common mistake is assuming that all raw vegetables go well together just because they're natural. But in elderly digestion, timing and balance are everything. When your system is already moving a bit slower, adding mismatched pairs like cucumbers and tomatoes can be just enough to throw things off. So, what can you do instead? Here's a gentle shift that can make a real difference. If you love tomatoes, try including them in cooked meals. Cooking helps break down some of the acids, making them easier on your stomach. Tomato soup, roasted tomatoes, or lightly sautéed in olive oil, those are all better options. Cucumbers? Enjoy them as a solo snack. Have them earlier in the day when your digestion is stronger, or pair them with something soothing, like a dollop of plain yogurt or a squeeze of lemon. Small changes. Big results. You'll likely feel lighter. Less bloated. More at ease after meals. And that's really what we want, isn't it? Not just to eat the right foods, but to eat in a way that actually supports the way our body works right now, not how it used to work 20 years ago. And if that combination surprised you, wait till you hear what happens when cucumbers meet this next one, a popular dairy product you might be enjoying without even realizing the silent toll it's taking on your gut. Now let's talk about the second combination, and this one might hit home if you love Mediterranean or South Asian dishes. Cucumbers and yogurt-based dishes. Picture this. Robert is 68, retired, and finally has time to enjoy his hobbies. Gardening, evening walks, and experimenting with recipes from his favorite travel memories. One of his go-to side dishes? A bowl of tzatziki, that creamy, garlicky yogurt and cucumber dip he first fell in love with during a vacation to Greece. Or sometimes, it's a chilled raita with dinner, a refreshing blend of cucumber, yogurt, and spices that feels like the perfect balance on a warm day. But lately, Robert has noticed something. After meals with these dishes, he doesn't feel refreshed. He feels heavy. Bloated. Sometimes even tired or foggy, as if his body just isn't processing the food the way it used to. At first, he brushed it off. Maybe I'm just getting older. But what he didn't realize was, it wasn't about age, it was about combination. Let me explain. Cucumbers are extremely water-rich, over 90% water. They have a natural cooling effect on the body and are considered light and quick to digest. Yogurt, on the other hand, is fermented, creamy, and produces mucus when digested, especially in older adults with a slower digestive system. It's also naturally acidic in its breakdown, despite being soothing to taste. So when you combine the two, cooling cucumbers and mucus-forming yogurt, it creates a conflict inside the gut. Instead of working together, they can disrupt your internal balance. Ayurveda, one of the world's oldest healing systems, has warned about this combination for centuries. And now, even modern digestion science supports the idea that pairing water-heavy foods with fermented dairy can disturb the gut flora. The result? For someone over 60, this mix can lead to sluggish digestion, gas or bloating, increased susceptibility to colds or sinus issues, skin flare-ups, especially if you're prone to rashes or dryness. And here's the part we often miss. Because yogurt and cucumbers are both seen as healthy, we assume they're even healthier together. But for seniors, especially those with sensitive digestion or a compromised immune system, this combination can quietly chip away at comfort, day after day. So, what can you do? If you enjoy yogurt, and there's no reason to stop, it's all about how you eat it. Instead of mixing it with cucumbers, try combining it with warming herbs like cumin, turmeric, or mint. These herbs help neutralize the mucus-forming effects and make yogurt easier to digest. And cucumbers? Eat them on their own, preferably during the first half of the day, when your digestion is naturally stronger. You'll give your system a chance to process them fully before winding down for the evening. It's a small shift, but seniors like Robert have noticed big changes. Less bloating. More energy after meals. Even clearer skin and better sleep. Because food isn't just about nutrition, it's about how your unique body handles it, especially with age. And if that surprised you, hold on. Because this next one is even more serious, especially for anyone dealing with blood pressure concerns. Let's look at a common mix that could silently be raising your pressure, and you might be having it without a second thought. Cucumbers and salty or pickled foods. This one might seem innocent. Maybe even like a smart snack. A few slices of cucumber, a couple pickles on the side, maybe a cube or two of salty cheese. Crisp, crunchy, and flavorful. That was exactly Eleanor's favorite afternoon ritual. At 75, Eleanor was proud of how she stayed active. She walked every day, did light gardening, and tried to eat clean. She had cut down on processed snacks and loved making simple plates with fresh veggies and salty bites to keep things interesting. But here's where the story takes a turn. Out of nowhere, Eleanor began experiencing spikes in her blood pressure. Nothing else had changed, no new medications, no added stress. Her doctor was puzzled. They ran tests. Adjusted her prescriptions. Still, the numbers kept creeping up. It wasn't until Eleanor's granddaughter suggested tracking her meals that the mystery began to unravel. The food diary revealed it all, those innocent afternoon snacks. Cucumber slices, paired almost daily with pickles or feta cheese. Seemingly harmless, but silently problematic. Here's what was really going on inside her body. Cucumbers, while hydrating and light, actually have mild diuretic properties. That means they can gently encourage your body to release fluids, good in small amounts, but something to be aware of. Pickled foods, salty cheeses, or processed meats are the exact opposite. They are packed with sodium, which causes the body to retain fluid and puts extra pressure on the blood vessels. So, when you combine a natural diuretic like cucumber with a sodium-heavy food like pickles or cheese, your body gets pulled in two directions at once. Your kidneys are told to flush water out, but also to hold water in. It's a tug-of-war that confuses your system, and the result? Dehydration. Electrolyte imbalances. Blood pressure spikes. And for seniors, whose kidneys are already more delicate, and whose hydration levels are more vulnerable, this is a combination that can do real harm over time. Now, many folks assume, but cucumbers are full of water, won't they balance the salt? It seems logical. But inside your body, it doesn't work that way. That water gets flushed out faster because of the cucumber's diuretic nature, taking precious electrolytes with it, while the salt lingers, raising blood pressure quietly. And because there's no immediate reaction, no pain, no nausea, we often don't connect the dots. So, what can you do instead? If you enjoy a snack with flavor, swap the salty foods for something less risky. Try unsalted seeds, like sunflower or pumpkin. Or make a small plate of lightly steamed vegetables with a dash of lemon juice and fresh herbs, like dill or parsley, to give it that flavor punch without the sodium overload. You'd be amazed how satisfying it is when your palate adjusts to the natural flavors. And your body? It will thank you with steady energy, clearer focus, and a calmer heartbeat. These combinations may seem small. But they're powerful. Because it's not just what we eat, it's how foods interact once they're inside our aging bodies. Every bite sends a message. Every mix creates a ripple effect. And now, you know the truth behind 3 everyday food pairings that could be quietly wearing your system down. But we're not done just yet. Let's take a moment now to reflect, not just on the science, but on the emotional weight of caring for your body in your later years. Because these aren't just food choices. They're acts of self-respect, of wisdom, of love. It's tough, isn't it? You've spent a lifetime doing your best, choosing what you believed was healthy, listening to advice, following routines that worked for years. And now, in this season of life, you find out, even the healthiest choices might need a second look. It can feel frustrating, even unfair. You think back to all those times you proudly prepared a crisp salad, added that little dollop of yogurt, or snacked on what seemed like a light, sensible plate of cucumbers and cheese. And now someone tells you, that combination might not be serving your body anymore. It's a lot to take in. But here's what I want you to hear, clearly and gently: this isn't about fear. It's not about restriction, or making you feel like your efforts were wrong. It's about empowerment. It's about learning how the body evolves with time. How what worked at 40 might not work at 70, and that's okay. That's normal. That's life. And most importantly, it's manageable. Because now you know. You've taken the time to learn something that most people overlook. And that knowledge, that awareness, that's your power. When you understand how these food combinations interact inside your body, you take back control. You can make choices that help you feel more energetic, more clear-headed, more comfortable after meals, not heavy, bloated, or tired. You can prevent little things from becoming big issues. So, here's what I encourage you to do: take a moment, maybe after this video, to just reflect on your regular meals. Not to criticize, but to gently observe. Are there combinations you're having out of habit that could be tweaked? Are you unknowingly pairing foods that might be clashing inside your gut? Remember, it doesn't have to be a big overhaul. Small changes, like eating cucumbers earlier in the day. Enjoying yogurt with warming herbs instead of raw vegetables. Swapping salty sides for fresh herbs and lemon. These tiny shifts can make a big difference in how your body functions and how you feel every single day. And here's the best part: you don't have to give up the foods you love. You just need to adjust how, when, and what you pair them with. You can still enjoy flavor, variety, and nourishment. But now you can do it in a way that supports your unique needs, your beautiful, aging body that deserves nothing but the best. Because these are your golden years. Years meant for rest, for joy, for reflection, and yes, for good health. And with a little guidance, a little intention, they can truly shine brighter than ever. Let's take a moment to gently recap what we've covered today. Because sometimes, it's the simplest changes that bring the biggest benefits. Here are the 3 food combinations you should be careful with when it comes to cucumbers. First, avoid mixing cucumbers with tomatoes. They may look beautiful together in a salad, but their different digestion times and acidity levels can stir up discomfort in an aging digestive system. Second, be mindful when pairing cucumbers with yogurt-based dishes. That tzatziki or cucumber raita might seem refreshing. But for many seniors, it can lead to mucus buildup, sluggish digestion, and even skin issues. And third, steer clear of mixing cucumbers with pickled or salty foods. That pairing can quietly raise your blood pressure and put strain on your kidneys, especially if you're already managing hypertension or dehydration risks. Each of these combinations may seem harmless. But when you're over 60, your body speaks in quieter ways. And tuning into these small signs can protect you from bigger problems down the road. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these combinations surprised you the most? Have you been eating any of these regularly without realizing they might be causing issues? Go ahead and share in the comments. Your story might help someone else recognize a pattern in their own life. We're here to learn from each other. And if you found this video helpful, if you felt a little more informed, a little more empowered today, then go ahead and subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. Here, we share practical health tips, gentle guidance for aging gracefully, and reflections to help you live each day with more comfort and confidence. No pressure. No judgment. Just support, knowledge, and care, tailored for you. Thank you for spending your time with us today. You took a moment to care for yourself, and that matters. Stay curious. Stay gentle with your body. Stay hopeful, because your best years, they can still be ahead of you. Until next time, from all of us at Elderly Wisdom Guide, take care. And we'll see you in the next video.